And welcome back to another video on the Wrestlers Debate and to another edition of NXT Out of 10. And this is of course the last episode of NXT before the rebranding, with a transformation starting next week. But yeah, focusing on the present, lots going on. Ember Moon v Kaylee Ray to start the show, so let's get straight into it. Moon took Ray down early on, but Kaylee Ray reversed it on the hold before being hit with an arm drag and a dropkick for a near fall. Moon got a crossface locked in before Ray reversed it and got a code breaker in. The former NXT UK Women's Champion got a super kick before Moon hung her up in the corner upside down and kicked her in the head a few times. Kaylee Ray then hit a tornado DDT and a swanton bomb for a near fall. After a back and forth, Ray hit the gory bomb to get the win. I'm going to give this 7 out of 10. This was a really fun match, and for me the right result as well, really putting Kaylee Ray over. Before we saw footage of Indy Hartwell's bachelorette party on NXT, Hartwell thanked LeRae for helping her become who she is, and LeRae says she approved of Dexter before they headed off to spy on Gargano and the boys at Loomis's bachelor party before we got Santos Escobar vs Carmelo Hayes. The match started off slow and Escobar was dominating early on. Hayes went for a big DDT for a near fall and then a belly-to-belly suplex before Escobar sent Carmelo outside, where he wiped out the announcers before we headed for a break on NXT. Back in the ring, Escobar sent Hayes into the steel sets before Hayes reversed the move on the ropes to get in control. Carmelo hit a DDT before a distraction was caused, allowing Escobar to hit the Phantom Driver and pick up the win after Carmelo rolled back into the ring. I'm going to give this 7 out of 10. Once again, this was another decent match. Escobar gets the win, but Carmelo doesn't look weak in any way at all. Malcolm Bivens of Diamond Mine then introduced us to the Creed brothers, the newest member of the team, before backstage William Regal let us know that Ciampa, Knight, O'Reilly and Dan would compete in a fatal 4-way match to decide Samoa Joe's first title challenger, and I guess that'll be next week. Before the Creed brothers were then in action against Chucky Viola and Paxton Averill, and basically they destroyed them, hitting belly-to-belly suplexes and a double team fireman carry, beautiful suplexes, a body slam, all of that sort of stuff you'd expect from big guys, and they picked up the win. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It was a convincing enough debut. Before we got Io Shirai and Zoe Stark versus Cassie Catanzaro and Kaden Carter for the belts. Stark and Casey kicked off the match, but Shirai and Carter were tagged early on. Io was dominating, however, before Carter hit a dropkick splash combo on the champs, and they got a close count off a combined finisher before Shirai got the knees up in the corner. Stark then tagged in on NXT and got a near fall before Carter accidentally missed an elbow. Shirai then came in and hit the trademark moonsault on Catanzaro and picked up the win. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. This was an okay match. And for me, the right result, just to continue that storyline, GD Jolin and JC Jane then refused Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter after the match and wiped them out with the help of Mandy Rose. He was wearing a medical mask, just like Sheamus. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see where that goes, and I'm quite intrigued, to be honest. For next up, we saw Gargano, Maverick, Odyssey Jones, the Zombie Referee, and Cameron Grimes at Dexter Loomis' bachelor party. Grimes decided to pay for the party to settle his feud with Loomis, and Dexter agreed. Indy and LeRae showed up at the venue shortly after to spy on them. The video package goes on to show go-karting. Loomis taught Gargano how to throw an axe and even went to a laser tag area where Loomis knocked their opponents out before won a £10,000 bet with Grimes. Gargano and Dexter had a great moment where they high-fived, and LeRae and Indy came out of their hiding spot. Yeah, this was a bit fun, and it kind of does make the wedding next week even more intriguing, so this was fine and a bit fun. Before we got Mei Ying versus Virginia Ferry, Mei Ying was set to make her NXT debut, and she caught her opponent with a jab to the throat before locking in the super hold. Ferry got a jawbreaker in off the counter before Ying flipped her way into the corner and hit a big stomp on the face before she pinned her with a one-handed choke for the win. I'm going to give this 6 out of 10. Yeah, it was good. Really put over Mei Ying as like a big threat. So yeah, did all it needs to do. Before, in our main event, it was MSK versus Birch and Lorcan. Birch and Carter kicked off the match, and the challengers made sure to isolate Carter, and Nash finally made a tag in, and they managed to get in control. Lorcan and Birch got the upper hand once again, however, when they managed to isolate Carter again, and Carter was caught in a headlock, as we enter the break. Lee wiped out Birch on the apron before hitting a German suplex for a near fall. Both champs were caught in submissions before they managed to get out and hit Lorcan with their combined finisher to pick up the win. After the match, Dan and Holland turned on Lorcan and Birch and took them out as the audience booed. 7 out of 10. Did not see that coming, but MSK continuing their reign to good, and it gives Lorcan and Birch something else to do. So on the whole, I think this was a successful successful segment, good match and good storytelling. Overall this week, NXT gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I think this was a really, really good episode of NXT actually. There was lots going on, lots of positive story developments, and if that's how we're going to end the old era of NXT, I think it was a good way to do it. But based on today's showing, not too much really needs changing in my opinion, because this was a very, very good show. But anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. So like, share, subscribe, let me know your thoughts, comments down below, follow me on Twitter, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel on the screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.